What's up, folks? How you doing? You're watching this video, well, because I sent it to you. This video is part of an introduction to an exercise that I was asked to do along with my other colleagues. And is an exercise that was given to us by our Associate Dean in the Department of English, Dr. Patrice Essen at Humber College. And we're doing a guided reflection on Indigenous ways of knowing, being, and doing. And we were given a set of questions, what areas did you choose to focus on, what steps did you take, what were your takeaways, have you grown through this process, and so on and so forth until we get to this point of writing a land acknowledgement. Anyone who knows me well knows that I love to write. And my big problem is that I can write too much. So what ended up happening was I wrote a lot. I wrote a lot more. It reminds me what happened in my dissertation. I wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. But that's not actually how I made this. A big part of my journey and my process of creating my deliverable here was when I was speaking to my colleague, Jessica Freitag, and she said, the fine print here is you can choose the medium that works best for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be a piece of writing. It could be anything. And that's when I lit up. And I went to Padlet, and I've been using Padlet for about a good 8 years. And every time I use it, not every time, but every couple of months I use it, I discover something new. So I wrote the whole reflection on Padlet, and I wrote it up as a mind map. And for the first time ever, I not only used it to map out words and ideas that were given in words, I used images, I used hyperlinks. This is the book that we worked on during this May, June. And I have a hyperlink to the book's publisher. I use arrows to kind of guide through, instead of just having paragraphs, I have like arrows, with each question is put in a specific box, and some of them are color coded, and arrows to kind of connect the dots, so I'm taking you through it. We have photographs that I took, which happen to be also my colleagues, and then other topics that are related to this topic of Indigenous ways of knowing, being, and doing. And there's writing there, like there's an article up there. These are my own images that I've included. There's a video here. If you just click on the play button, you'll get a video. And keep going down, you get a YouTube video that I recorded from my plenary talk at the Humber Festival of Authors Conference back in September of 2023. More questions, more links, more YouTube videos, and yeah, and basically, I say this is one of the questions that was not supposed to come up, but basically, what I learned to do in this whole process, was to get to this place of writing the goal was to write a land acknowledgement, and which I did, but the main thing is that I learned how to write a new essay, and it's been a dream of mine to be a digital storyteller, but I've always felt like doing that, is going to require new training. Going back to the school that I teach at even, and I kind of gave it up. But I realized that this is actually a work of digital storytelling, digital essay storytelling, or story-based essay writing. But it's all digital. It's multimodal. It's using different types of media, and it's integrating them together in a really easy and simple way that's free. and 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 the best part is this concept that I talk about here in the reflection, which is Jugaad. And Jugaad's a South Asian word. It's often used in Punjabi. And it basically means DIY, do it yourself. Do it yourself also means here, discover it yourself. So I discovered this button here, which I've never seen before, because what I've seen before is that I can share what I have in a Padlet, and it might look like this, but of course you can expand it, so you can see the font properly. I can print it out and make a JPEG out of it, but it's going to end up looking like this, which is not easy to print out. But this button, which is for slideshow, if I just click on it, this is a discovery thing that I made while working on this. It's going to open up like that, and it's going to be 20 tabs at the bottom, and the layout is just fantastic, both for the images and for the text. And what doesn't fit can be scrolled down, right? and I can jump around and even things here, like for example, this article that I included in my reflection, it lays out better here. Like we see the subject of the piece in a much more better way than we did in the in the original version, which is just a link like this. This is far more appealing. And so anyways, yeah, there's another way to look at it just by hitting the slideshow button. Okay, some of it's a little bit out of place at the end, but that's okay. It's all still there. So anyways, this is my guided reflection. This is my, my way of discovering a new way of writing and making a dream come true for the way I've always wanted to write. And I'm very grateful that this exercise, which, and I'm grateful to, my associate dean, Dr. Patrice Essen, for making, enabling a situation where I can make this discovery while also doing the work of exploring Indigenous ways of knowing, being, and doing. So that's my brief navigation on what this Padlet's all about, how you can navigate it. And if you ever want to reach out and talk more, you know where to go. Just write back to the email through which you're getting this link. All right. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye-bye.